This is Ian Bailey with Ian on Therapy. Today I'm discussing more aspects of family therapy, or part of systems theory about how people work. This is also my first idea also applies to regular couples therapy and other forms of interpersonal therapy. So one of the things that you must do in counseling is to get people to have the conversations that they're avoiding having. So Murray Bowen, one of the the developers of family therapy, he believed that people avoid having conversations with family members because it's one of the most anxiety-provoking things that you can go through. People avoid each other, then they explode on each other, they don't talk. It causes great anxiety to have to actually talk it out with someone, to be vulnerable and to work it out. So on a simple level, let's say a couple or a mother and daughter, they're avoiding talking about something because it's very stressful. So what you should do is you should urge them to have a conversation in the office in front of you. And they might tend to try to get you hooked in there, but you have to push them back. You're not going to be living with them at home, so don't do the work for them. Teach them how to do it on their own. And also it can be avoiding having the conversation by dragging you into it. It diffuses the situation. It makes you part of the conversation. You do the work, therapist. But you get them to have that conversation. You try to coach them on their tone of voice, on the content, trying to form a conclusion, listening to each other. So you are getting somewhat involved, but you have to remain decently detached. It's not easy, but have people practice it at home also. That's a simple understanding of getting people to have the conversations they're avoiding having. But on a deeper level, family therapy posits that the symptoms don't really lie in one person. The teenage daughter has anorexia, but really the whole family works together to conspire unconsciously to maintain the symptoms, to maintain the roles in the family, homeostasis, to maintain the status quo about what's going on in the family. So, you'll hear about how, the 11-year-old son is constantly nagging and bickering, and then you'll hear about how, and then you'll see for yourself in front of you how they'll start to have the conversation, but then the mother will, or the father will, jump in there and diffuse it and protect it. Oh, we want you to do this at home, let's be clear about it. Oh, but he really does it. Boom, diffusing. Very subtle. So people, in a very complex way, people avoid having these conversations. They want to maintain the dysfunction within the room. So, for example, in Mnuchin's famous case of the anorexic teenager, she felt like she couldn't speak up to her parents. Her mother was very overbearing. The father was not tempering the mother. And the mother was trying to be very enmeshed, very close to the daughter. And the daughter wanted to grow up and have a voice as a 16-year-old. So her anorexia is not some psychological, biological problem she has. It's tied into the family because that was the way that she felt like she could have a voice in the family. It's not a conscious thing. She doesn't choose to starve herself and suffer to have a voice, but it's just a natural development in the family's dysfunction. So, incredible book I've been reading by Mnuchin. He's still alive. God bless him. 93 years old. Fellow Yid. And The Craft of Family Therapy, co-authored by 3 people. Mnuchin. Amazing book. It opens up structural family therapy like you've never seen it. So he brings this case, and you see, and they transcribe it. The mother all of a sudden coming in and saying, no, you're a good girl. Boom. Well, don't just say she's a good girl. Have the conversation. Talk it out. So as a therapist, it's your job to use your tools to unhinge what's going on. You're not just molding people individually to feel good. The first step is to get them to have the conversation together they don't normally have. But as a therapist, study up on more advanced techniques. I'll try to make some more advanced videos. I myself am breaking my head on this stuff by Mnuchin. It's so advanced, but so just key, clutch. So I'm going to stop it for today. We're almost, we're just almost at 4.5 minutes. I want to keep it short. But try to get people to have the conversations that they're avoiding having because of great interpersonal anxiety. This is Ian on Therapy. Ian Bailey.